Hi everybody, I'm glad you could join me. You find me here on Normanville Beach under the jetty, mainly because it keeps raining out there, and so being under here makes perfect sense because we've got some lovely shelter in which to hide. You might be able to tell that today is a very overcast day. It's just after 1 in the afternoon, and that cloud cover is acting like a beautiful softbox. So let me talk you through this this composition. So what we have is our tripod well seated into that sand to give a stable base. I've leveled the tripod, and I've also ensured that the camera is facing the center, is running down the center of this column here, of this beam above us. And so everything is symmetrical or near symmetrical. These were never built 100% symmetrical, but as near symmetrical on the back of this as we can. Camera level, and I'm ready to take a couple of images. I think first of all I want to try and capture this surf. So this is going to be unadulterated image. I'll wait for that surf to come in, and we'll take a snapshot. At the moment, this is at a 1/10 of a second. So we're at f/16 ISO 100, 1/10 of a second. So let's see how we go when we get a nice wave that comes in. I'm on a 2-second timer, and although jetties are never 100% symmetrical, this one is fairly symmetrical and is working quite well. So what we're going to do today is we're going to take this composition at several different shutter speeds and see what the different effects of different shutter speeds are on that water and on the overall image. So we'll be going for quite a realistic image in terms of a faster shutter speed and freeze that water, and then more and more ethereal and more fine art type shots later on. Now, I'm never one to go for HDR, so I'm not going to expose for this to be unnaturally bright. I'll just raise the shadows. I'll do the best I can in post. Now this looks like an interesting one. So not far enough. So we'll wait for the next one to come in. And we'll see how we go. This one maybe. 1, 2, we have it, and that's a 1/10 of a second. We'll do another one as it's running out, and maybe one more. There we go. So that's a 1/10 of a second, which effectively freezes that water with the froth all that's on it. So now what we need to do is start adding some of our filters. Oh, and this is a big bit of water. We may as well capture that. There we go. So, next little one we're going to put on is we're going to put on our 3-stop. And let's see what we get here. We're getting 1.3 of a second. There we go. And what that should be doing is smearing this water into little pleasant streams and lines that run back into back into this jetty. So that's what we're hoping for. And again, you can just play for this. We're on 1.6 of a second. We'll just hang a little bit, get a nice wave that comes in. Ideally, I want it either halfway between us and these pylons in front of us, or, as what's been happening, all the way. And we'll catch that on the way out. There we go. And we've got this one coming in. Wonderful. So I'm just going to push it slightly to F18, and now that's given us a 1 second exposure with the 3-stop on, and we'll see how we're going. Got to watch that sun. It is on the right hand side of this jetty, so we just got to watch. It's coming out, I can tell by the light hitting that water, so we don't want any blown highlights on that side. So let's just see how we go. And really, this is now a little waiting game. We're waiting for the right wave to come in, so it comes high enough, and then timing it so that we catch it either coming in, or even, I think even better in this case, going out. And that sun's too bright now, so I'm just going to check what's happening. It will go back behind a cloud in a moment, so that will sort us out. Okay, so we're just waiting for this water to come in for the 1 second exposure, and while I've got the time, I think I'll just take the opportunity. Second I turn my back, that water will come in. I knew it. Nice. Some nice lines. Well, we want another one to come in. And we've caught that coming in. And now we'll also catch that going out. I think the preference will be the water going out, because that will give us the smoother lines actually leading back into this composition. So with that done, I think we'll then now move on to the 6-stop. Now, we're only going up 3 stops, which will give us about 8 seconds or thereabouts. That's a nice one. And that has given us 8 seconds. The sun's come out again, so it's a waiting game. I know if I take a shot with that sun between the clouds, that the right hand side of this shot will be totally overexposed. So just wait a moment for that to die down. And now let's wait for a big wave to come in. And then we'll hit that, and that's for 8 seconds. With 8 seconds, I can probably catch it coming in and going out. So that'll give us quite a smooth image. So we'll give that a go as soon as we get a nice one in. There we go. Got a nice one in. So that's with our 6-stop, 8-second exposure. Nice, quite nice. Fabulous under here. I'm just thoroughly enjoying. Just going to make sure that I put the filters in the right place so that I can just naturally grab them and use them when, if necessary. So we've got a 10-stop. And we're going to wait for that sun. You can see that sun really has popped out. Yep, the sun's about to go behind a larger cloud. When it does, I'm just checking to see if there's any shadows. There's no shadows. The light's way off on the right. I'll wait for the next wave to come in and then we'll hit it. There we go, that will do. Of course, it doesn't really matter if we get a high wave now, because over 2 minutes, that water is going to be evened out, and the movement is going to be, an average of all that water movement, light, colour, is going to be spread over a full 2 minutes. So it doesn't really matter if we start off with a high wave for the first shot. So it's not like the 3-stop or freezing the motion where we need the wave here. With this one, we're going to get plenty of waves such as this one coming up. And so the long exposure will take all that information and blend it into a single image. So that's exactly what we're doing now. That was lovely. I've never had I'm not going to call him a fan, but I've never had someone who recognised me from the vlogs before, so that was absolutely lovely. Lovely to happen. So Alan Moore, lovely guy. So what we're going to do is we're going to swap this lens, the 17 being extremely wide. Here we go. Watch that water. So as you can see, once this fits in, that the front element on here is a little bulbous. So this is a fabulous little system by H&Y, and also I think this is by Laowa, and the filter system itself is H&Y. It's a magnetic system, which means you can use the existing Izzy filter set. So here we have a soft grad, And what you do is you purchase this little case, which turns your Nissi, in this case Nissi, soft grad, into a magnetic one, which would just clips on the front there, and it's done. So it's a beautiful little system, and it works a treat. Now, it just so happens that I have a 10 stop for this, so that's exactly what I'm going to pop on now. So I'm going to put on the 10 stop just like this. It's got some handy little grooves so you can adjust it if necessary, and a little lock nut which just holds that in place. And that's it, that's us done. I just need to make sure that we're focused. Aperture is manual, we're set at f16 the same. I'm just going to set this onto aperture priority to get focus, and I want to focus in on the front element, and I really should have my glasses on for this. So I'm just going to throw on the EVF to help me focus. That's much better. And that's the focus set. And the good thing is I can see the pixel peeping is showing me that it's in focus, or it should be in focus. And I'm not going to move anything at all. We're just going to run that as it was before. Put it back into manual now that we've got our focus locked. Important to put our 10 stop back on, isn't it? Because otherwise we just get a blank white screen. So that will just click on in with a satisfying little click. That's that done. 2 minutes, f16, 2-second timer, away we go. Yeah, so the Laowa lens is a beautiful lens, solid metal. You can see that it's got the aperture ring and the front focus ring set in. It doesn't give a satisfying click between apertures, which I would have preferred. It sort of smoothly rotates. My only concern with this lens, and why I only bring it out on relatively dry days, is that the mount isn't weather sealed. It does give a satisfying clunk when it connects, but I really wouldn't want to take a chance on it in the rain. Hence, it's okay for me using it under here, but I wouldn't want to use it in the rain at all. And this filter system is great by H&Y. It allows me to use my existing Nissi filters on this magnetic system. Simple to put on, simple to take off, and very easy to use. I've stacked up to 3 filters, and it holds beautifully. The magnets hold it beautifully in place, and as I said, for that nearest filter there is a little screw that you can tighten up, but you know, I hardly ever use that. And there we go. That's done for a full 2-minute exposure, and you'll be able to see the difference between the two, and you tell me which of the two that you actually prefer. jetty above is actually empty at the moment, so we might be able to get up and get another shot with the 17mm. We'll see if we can get another 2-minute exposure up there. It looks like it's going to be fairly dry, but it's still beautifully overcast for us, so I think that's what we're going to attempt to do. We're going to run up if we get a chance, and we'll take a shot or two for up top so that we can actually see some sky. Okay, we've got our composition set up. Again, we're level straight down this jetty. Now you see that we've come up on top. I think this time we're going to need a soft grad, so I'm just going to pop on the 10 stop, as you can see here, and keep it to our 2-minute exposure, and I'm going to throw a 0.9 soft grad on. That's what we've got here, and I'll just pop that over the top that way, and then it's snapped on into place. I'll just adjust that so it's good. So this is to show you that triple stack of filters that we have on the front here. So we've got 1.2, 0.9 and our 10 stop, and those magnets really do hold it very easily on the front of this holder, as you can see. It makes life such a dream. So there we go, so that's our setup. That should do us. Manually focused again, 2 minutes, done. So let's have a little look at this. Oh wow, perfectly exposed. That second grad really did it. That is just glorious. Really pleased with that. Hope you are too. That's it from here at Normanville Beach. Thank you for joining me here, both on top of the jetty and underneath. And I've really enjoyed using the 17mm today, much more than the last time I used it, where I think I failed to nail the shot. So I've checked here, and yes, it's all in focus, so that's fantastic. Super long exposures, daytime, what else can be better? So thanks for joining me here today. All it leaves me to say is wherever you are, thank you very much. Please take care of yourself and your loved ones, and until next time, see ya.